Danganronpa. We're getting really close to the end. We're getting really close to the end of Danganronpa, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to fucking set up P2 soon. You think we can finally get back to fucking borderless? We'll try. We were having that fucking camera issue before. So I don't have to deal with the fucking window issue instead. Obviously the window issue is better than the camera issue, but I'd rather the game just work. Hey, Pache! 12-month sub. I thought you weren't going to be able to do it again because you were canceling Twitch Prime.
Just leave this city. Where did this come from?
Aw, I knew this would happen.
In order for the new society of children to be calm and peaceful, I need to create paradise. Everyone has high expectations of me. I cannot fail. So please, get out of town.
Forgot what was happening, and it's only been a day. Twitch just asked if I wanted to share our 12 months. I was like, okay.
Don't be tricked. You don't
Aww.
actually accept that offer.
Well, thank you.
No.
12 months.
This is not an offer.
That's
It's
crazy.
an honest request. Please, I'm begging you. Please leave.
His entire face is submerged in water. Keeping an eye on the Copa shit. You're talking about the,
Hey.
the advertisement stuff, the Federal Trade Commission stuff?
He's obviously tricking us.
Or is this a different fucking thing going on?
I do not intend to trick you. I'm serious. Huh? And now, you are free.
Oh, shit.
Nagisa, if you do this, you're gonna make Monica super sad. I know that, but it has to be done.
Yeah, but that thing? Yeah,
I'm sure she'll understand.
I'm aware of it.
I'll take you to the secret passageway. It's the only way to get out of town.
Yeah, YouTube's fucking going under, that's for sure.
The Monokumas won't attack with me here. Come on, let's go.
Hey, I told you to wait.
What? Do you have another objection?
Do I? Oh, Maru, are you really okay with this?
Huh? Of course she is. This is what she wanted all this time.
I wasn't talking to you. I'm asking Amaru.
She wants to leave this town. Why are you getting in her way? You're on the same side, right?
Whoops.
Her feelings? Shut up. You have no right to say that.
Ugh.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah, it's,
I will personally guide you to the secret passage.
pretty bad, though.
No.
God damn it, I keep hitting the button.
Let's go. Nagisa! Don't follow us. But... You don't want Monica to hate you, do you?
If your channel gets flagged as child-friendly, use comment, streams, channel badges, live streams, super chats, etc., and they're extremely vague on what's child-friendly, as in vivid colors vague. Yeah, I know what, like, the criteria are all there. I marked my channel as never child-friendly, but I know that they have, I know that they have an algorithm that's gonna change those markings manually. I'm not quite sure what they're analyzing, but if they weigh it, if they're weighing it similarly to the demonetization algorithm, at least, at least I won't have to deal with this problem, because there is no reality where you can make an argument that anything I have ever made is child-friendly.
I beg of you, please.
But the biggest issue with it is that it came off of the demonetization scandals in YouTube, which means that a lot of channels, most channels, started gearing their content closer and closer towards the child-friendly labels, in which they had to be in order to make money, period.
That kid. He looks so normal, running like that.
How does a non-normal kid run?
And so now everyone's kind of fucked. But I never really got swept up in that, so I'll probably be fine. No. However I phrased that, I may have phrased it misleadingly. The demonetization issues on YouTube came from ad controversies, like things running on like terrorist videos and stuff, which a lot of that didn't really happen. But that's where the demonetization came from. I know where the kid-friendly issue came from, but the problem is that the kid-friendly issue is following the demonetization issue, and the demonetization issue, which was caused by something else, created a shift towards child-friendly content, which is then creating issues with this whole, now they legally can't do the child-friendly thing. So YouTube's fucked, and it actually has never made money, and it's going under, and it was fun while it lasted. So what's the fun story? About the Children of the Night. There's only one thing I could tell for sure after taking the night shift as lookout. The children are all wearing these idiotic helmets. None of them look like they're sleeping, and I've never seen them eat either. Are they really human children? Isn't it possible that they're just mechanical dolls like Monokumas? Well, regardless, whether they're humans or robots, they're devils in our eyes. The only difference is what liquid they bleed when we run them over. At the end of the first Culpa, Metatron tells you... Oh, shit, that was Maid. Oh, you were both pink. So that got really misleading. Metatron tells you to stop working for Lucifer. I said okay, but continued completing the Culpas and doing what Lucifer wanted until I got what I wanted. Okay, I see that you've linked pictures. Unfortunately, I have to remind you that because I'm having a camera issue with Danganronpa, I can't look at them without breaking the screen. So you're gonna have to just tell me what was on them. I should have a gun out. Hey, it's Ryan, welcome.
This way! Follow me closely!
But yeah, I mean, it really sucks, but I don't think anyone predicted YouTube was going to last that much longer anyway. Even if, if this is the bullet that kills it, I wouldn't be that shocked. Dante and Super... Oh, congratulations. Super Pixie?
Hold on. Why are you attacking me?
All I can say is thank God I curse like a sailor.
What's going on? Why is he getting ambushed by the Monokumas?
I don't know either.
Right!
Damn it. Come on. So too long didn't read. I did what Lucifer wanted until I got what I wanted and went F you and then Super Pixie. What the hell is a super pixie? What makes it super?
You said the Monokumas wouldn't attack us if you
I
were
want it
here.
to be just a regular pixie but with a little cape.
Strange. What in the world is this?
Hey, you weren't lying when you said you wouldn't trick us, right?
Of course. If I wanted to deceive you, I would not have removed your wristband.
Then they must have found out you betrayed them.
Betrayal? Me? No, that's wrong. I'm no traitor. I am the leader of the Warriors of Hope. I care about making paradise more than anybody. The reason I'm letting you guys go is because I care so much.
Your first demon in Nocturne is Pixie. If you keep Pixie throughout the game, she can evolve to High Pixie and later Queen Mab, and you can fuse her, but you have to never part ways.
It appears your allies
Huh.
aren't taking it that way.
Is
I
there,
understand if I explained it to her properly.
like a compendium, or?
Such high expectations.
Yeah, keep on saying that, Mr. Genius grade schooler.
Let's go.
Bodies everywhere. I'm getting sick of this.
You know, that's one really obnoxious aspect of, like, Persona 3, is you have to wait 7 decades to get the Persona Compendium. A certain room in the 5th Culpa is the door is locked unless you present the
secret
demon you've had the
passageway is
longest.
this way.
Huh. I just got 44 bullets. Culpa. Why do I know that word?
I'm a warrior of hope. I'm your master.
Is it Buddhist? Is it a Buddhist word? Why do I know that? I know that word. The word culpa. Let's see, she spells it K-A-L-P-A, I think. I've definitely, I know it from something. It's definitely like a mythological term, like everything in Megami Tensei. Yeah. This is, getting what I would call out of hand. Isn't that a measure of... Yes! Yes, yes! It's a Hindu measurement, of... Like, it's a crazy amount of time. I think it's... A kalpa is a single day in the life of Brahma, which is, like, trillions of years or something. Some of that is wrong, but I think it is a measurement in Hindu mythology based on how much time something is to Brahma. The spirit, not the god. All right, the conductor's 48 hours. Odoriko Anaka, famous as the genius conductor, is regarded by the world as perfect, talented, extraordinary, and beautiful. However, she has a secret that she keeps hidden from them all. The pinnacle of lyrical sexual prose, a fluttering melody of suffering and sadism. Well, okay, this just sounds readable. When she swings the baton, the symphony begins. This novel seems pretty intense, interesting. What I want is a book written by her.
So vulgar.
Even with the S&M bits, it's beneath me. I like with the even with the. It's just a regular pixie, but she's level 80 and has 30 points in every stat. Myzidine, Megalodon, Meteor Haron, Samarkand, and Endure. And lastly, she has no weaknesses and resists electric. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent. Also, the most disappointing part of all of this is that you've just posted a series of nonsense words, and I totally understood what they all meant. It's probably just some sloppily written wish fulfillment fanfiction garbage. Oh, I'm sure it's not going that bad. No, it's definitely going to be that bad. I can feel the lack of talent from here. Any book with a title this bad has to be just as bad on the inside. Well, if the ultimate writing prodigy says it, I'm sure it's true. A tasty subject like S&M boiled down to this crap. A true masochist like me would do better. How did this even get published? They must be really getting desperate to put this out.
Which reminds me.
Hey, true masochist, have you ever had that kind of experience? What, like being tied up or suspended? There's no way I'd do such indecent things. I feel like that's untrue. I feel like that happened at one point, didn't it? Am I wrong? I might be wrong. She says it didn't happen. I thought it happened. But then, how do you know you're a masochist if you've never done that stuff before? Isn't that like someone saying they love cigarettes but they've never smoked before? You underestimate my imagination. In Buddhism, there are 4 different lengths of kalpa. Regular kalpa is approximately 16 million years. A small kalpa is 1,000 regular kalpas, or 16 billion years. For the medium kalpa, 33.6 billion years, equivalent of 20 small kalpas, and a great kalpa is forming in around 1.34 trillion years. There we go. Hey, I was right about the trillion. Nailed it. Every spare moment I'm being stepped on, tied up, suspended by my master. In my head. You sound pretty proud about that. But that reminds me, one time I really was tied up and suspended. I knew it! I knew it!
Could it be?
Huh? By Byakuya?
No.
No, I don't even remember his name now. It was when I was in 3rd grade. Someone's lunch money got stolen and it somehow ended up in my desk. In Hinduism, a kalpa is equal to 4.32 billion years, a day of Brahma, or 1,000. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Alright, I conflated a couple things, but I got the general idea. My classmates thought I did it, so they tied me to the jungle gym with a garden hose.
So cool.
That's horrible.
You're right.
At the time, I felt a tingling sensation, but I'm sure that's not related. No, that definitely sounds like a formative experience. Alright, thank you, Pache. Getting tied to a jungle gym with with a hose does?
Hey, where are you going?
The fuck you doing?
Passageway is this way.
So he says. Let's go back.
This way.
You're seriously trusting a guy like that? I'm sure he's planning to betray you.
Why is there an invisible wall,
So?
like, 6 feet away from an actual wall? Didn't they spray her with a hose? I was only half listening and heard tied up hose and thought they did. No, no, no. They tied her to the jungle gym with a hose. I was reading a book about Steve Jobs written by his daughter and how now I have more reason to hate Steve Jobs. I take it he was a bad parent. I honestly don't know a whole lot about Steve Jobs.
Don't come near me.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, that actually rolled directly into me and it didn't do any damage at all, which is real weird. Hey, leave Toko alone. I am almost out of bullets. I am out of bullets. Oh, Jesus Christ, they just keep coming. My God, this is endless. Okay. Here's what you need to know about Steve Jobs. He's an asshole and definitely a sociopath. He was cruel to people unless they were doing something that could benefit him. He'd also only eat fruits. That's weird. There was this time where he was only eating Macintosh apples. Then he named the company Apple and the computer Macintosh. He stole credit for work for other people. He tricked Steve Woes into making an Atari game and took all the credit and the money too. As for his daughter, he refused that until she was his until he had a DNA test and the courts made him pay child support. Spoiler alert: he didn't pay shit. He's also dead. Fair enough. Well, it's basically reduced the whole game from like 100 TTLs to about 1, and Jobs got something like $50 per TTL and gave Waz $50.
Let's go. The secret passageway is this way.
Like, sexual how?
So cruel. This is too cruel.
I won't look. But even if I don't see it, I can pretty much figure out what happened.
Yeah, they were murdered?
You really don't feel anything seeing this?
These people are demons. Our enemies.
That's not what she asked.
You said it before, right? It's because you're afraid of adults?
Yeah, that's right. We can't help but be terrified around adults. If the adults just didn't exist, we could live peacefully. That's what I believe.
Why are you so afraid of adults?
We Warriors of Hope were classmates in the Hope's Peak Elementary program. We were in the classroom where they put all the troublemakers. But I resented being called a troublemaker. It makes it sound as if we ourselves were the cause of the trouble, but that's not right. Our troubles were created by adults, by our parents.
You don't think that Danganronpa is a commentary on the Japanese school system, do you? I might be reading into things that aren't there.
They say kids can't pick their parents. Well, we were the unluckiest ones of all. My parents were, without exaggeration, the worst. Like demons. My parents raised me like they were leveling me up in some game. They didn't treat me like a person. They probably even forgot I was their child. From morning till night, study, study, study. When I got sleepy, analeptics.
Well, no, I'm not.
Faint. HP is fully restored with a handy IV in my arm. 3 to 4 days.
I'm not saying that they're like it's meant to be a one-to-one.
They'd use items to neuter my spirit. And by doing so, as long as they steadily racked up XP, I'd love.
But I'm probably just reading into something that's not there.
And it wasn't just
More likely they drew from like those sources to add to the story rather than are using them to comment on anything.
Researcher of children's talent. He used his own son to research the growth of a child's talent.
Oh,
He wanted to see what
that
the growth curve
sucks.
would be like if he pushed the
Personally,
child to breaking
I
point.
don't. I don't use an iPhone
Isn't that funny?
or Apple
I was the
products.
subject of such an amusing experiment.
I don't really have a reason.
It's not funny at all.
But even with all that, I was still better off than the others. You saw Monica's legs, right? That was done to her by her family. Her father and older brother were jealous of her talent. And that's how she ended up like that.
That's horrible.
Because we had talent. Because we were superior. We were treated like we were in hell. But during it all, we didn't hold a grudge against our parents. We accepted how we were treated. Because we weren't aware that it was okay to hate our parents. We trusted the common knowledge that kids must love their parents. So we didn't fight it. Instead, we bonded over our struggle. And those discussions led us to the same conclusion. We had to escape from the horrifying world that made us suffer. We were desperate to run away from our scary parents, scary adults, the whole scary world. And we thought there was only one way out. But that's when it happened. There was someone who taught us to have courage.
God!
Fight back instead of running away.
The fact that you could just see the smile.
That was Big Sis Junko. Big Sis Junko told us how.
If you don't want it, give it to me.
She wanted the thing we were going to dispose of, our lives. And so, Big Sis Junko abducted us. Our disappearance didn't make much news. This was around the time the incident was growing. Ever since then, the days have been so much fun. Big Sis Junko showered her possessions with love and affection. She gave us not only love, but a dream as well. The dream of creating a children's paradise, where the children can live peacefully.
Oh, you
We also
poor
learned from Big
babies.
Sis Junko the beliefs required to build that dream. The belief that adults are demons. It was as if we saw the light. Thanks to her, we finally realized.
Is it weird that I think Junko may be a better villain now that she's
the
dead?
lies adults created for their own benefit. Children cannot defy their parents. Everyone must get along. Violence can never bring
Like-
peace. To destroy the
Like,
world
how do
based
you
on such
stop
lies,
her
we
now?
decided
You know what
to
I'm
fight
saying? Like, her
against them.
plans are still going off years after her death, but there's nothing to, like, defeat anymore. It's just whatever landmine she decided to just leave
Kids
around.
can kill adults if they wanted to, and we were encouraged. From there, we leveled ourselves up by killing demons. Big Sis Junko was so pleased. Just the idea of a child killing an adult is despair-inducing.
It's just insane.
Yeah, she's pretty crazy.
Just as I expected. You guys were just tools to her. She was using you. The way she took you in, it's no different than a cult. You bring in the weak people and attach them to your own dream. The revolution you're talking about? It's all just another piece of despair to her. You guys were completely deceived by Junko Anishima.
And what's wrong with that? Did I not tell you that we are her possessions? We would rather her take advantage of us than horrible adults.
Wasn't she 18 when she died?
Sounds like it's too late.
Say what you like. Big Sis Junko gave us hope. That's the truth. And because of that hope, we were able to defeat the demon boss.
Demon boss?
Our parents.
You killed your parents?
Yeah, them and every other fucking kid in the city.
That was a special battle that can only be fought once. That made us level up even further.
I have not seen the anime end. The only thing I've seen is the literal last
We
scene.
started freeing other children.
But at the end of
By
Danganronpa
doing so, the
2,
advance of the warriors of
they
Mercy
get,
stopped
like,
us.
on mind controlled mostly anyway, right?
Just when things were going so well, Big Sis Junko died. Killed by some idiot.
She killed herself.
When she died, and we lost our guide, we didn't know what to do. But Monica didn't despair.
Like, she super killed herself. And Makoto even said, hey, you don't have to kill yourself. And she was like, I really want to, though.
At that moment, Monica looked just like Big Sis Junko in our eyes. Things that didn't matter vanished, and we felt ourselves rising up again. Come to think of it, that moment, that was the real beginning of the revolution. And this time around, I swear
I
on
wonder if Monica is trying to
earth,
turn
we, the
herself
survivors,
into
will
Junko.
fulfill the dream and prove how amazing Big Sis Junko is. We would leave lies like education and love for family in the past and create paradise. That is our hope.
You guys, you really don't understand that you're doing something very wrong.
Justice and evil. These are
Oh
beliefs
yeah,
that
it does, and I
don't
have no way of turning it off.
First off, Pure evil simply does not exist. In all evil, there is something good. And in the same way, justice always hurts someone. There is no pure justice either.
Are we really gonna stand around waxing philosophical with some little brat? I want to know why you guys chose Toa City. And not only that, how did you guys get that army of Monokumas?
The one who chose the city and prepared our Monokumas was Monica. Isn't she amazing? She created them with her special magic.
Magic? Don't take any of this seriously. It's just some kid talking. Basically, Monica's the mastermind. And to save Master, I gotta deal with her.
Monica is our princess. I will never allow that.
Hey! Earlier, you said that there is no such thing as pure justice or evil. But even if that's true, a dream that requires you to hurt someone, I think it's wrong.
After all this time,
Whose special power is money?
Naive.
Monica?
It seems as though we
Monica's
really
special
don't have much
ability is that
time.
she can get people to do whatever she
That's what
wants.
asked you to leave.
Which is a really broken fucking
So
power.
let's go already. The secret passageway is right up ahead.
Byakuya's power is money.
We're here. It's at this shrine.
We should get going.
Hey, Omaru, do you have a second?
Yeah.
Are you really sure this is okay? To end it like this? Running away?
You're asking this now? All this time I've been trying to escape. And not just that. I'm still worried about my dad and mom. What are you gonna do, Toko?
Actually, you make a great point. Doesn't Byakuya have no talent anymore?
Of course, I have to save Master Byakuya.
Right. Hey, what do you think, honestly? Is it better for me to stay in this city?
Why are you asking me?
I mean, if I go, you'll be alone. Toko,
They can be granted. We know that.
You have no reason to worry about me. I'm capable of surviving on my own.
yeah, you're right. When I'm around, I'm just a burden to you. Unlike me.
And there is that story about a lady that can destroy talents, but that's not canon.
Hey,
To
Omaru?
even the game that it appears in.
Sorry for getting you involved in all this.
Involved? What do you mean?
Nothing. Just leave before he changes his mind.
Yeah, that's weird to think about. Byakuya has no talent. You know who else has no talent is Fuyuhiko. Children know this town better than I thought. I thought this place would be fine. I was confident I would never be found. But as if they knew where I was hiding from the beginning, a Monokuma came and attacked me. I was just barely able to escape, but I couldn't save her. My wife was killed. She was torn apart limb from limb. They cut off her skin and her flesh was everywhere, but I just ran away. I'm done for. There's no place to hide, no place to run in this city. I mean, money took out my family and his chair at the Illuminati mean jack shit. This bear boy's terrific. That's true. That's true. And I'm pretty sure Fuyuhiko's little gang is gone, isn't it? Actually, now that we're talking about this, so is Mondo's gang. It's true that your parents were cruel to you, but that doesn't mean you can kill all the adults. Again with that nonsense. After all this, we're well aware that we're killing innocents.
But...
This is war. When you're burning the enemy's country to the ground, do you stop to spare the good people? Usually. Usually you do. Yes. Usually. Sometimes no, but yes, normally, yes. Even if we had years, we would never achieve our dream with that benevolence. But consider it fate. We were born and raised here. We were treated as if we weren't even human. Wouldn't it be a cruel twist of fate if we didn't fight back? But for you to just do that to them, what they've done to you, perhaps you think we should have stayed subhuman, just accepted it.
No.
No, not like that.
Hey.
Then you tell me, what should we have done? What was the right thing to do? What should we have done to earn the privilege of a normal, happy childhood?
Mess with me.
Stop being such a drama queen. You could have relied on the police, on the government.
Don't mess with me.
You're asking those who've had their lives destroyed by adults to trust other adults? I mean, to be fair, I don't think they could have relied on the police or the government. Well, actually, Nagisa probably could have went to the police. Like him right here, like Shigetsu, he definitely could have went to the police for his. Because his is real easy to prove, actually. Ever since we were born in the Toa City, our destiny was decided. No one can stop us. With all the children in this town, we will build an ideal paradise. Wait, they were born in Toa City? With all the children in this town? You're talking about all those brats in the helmets? Of course, it's not just us, but also the Monokuma kids. All the children.
Suspicious.
Funny that all the kids in this town just happen to have the same murderous intentions like you. Perhaps I've said too much. I have nothing else to say to you. You cannot stop us now. Pretty bold for a shimpy little brat like you to talk big. I don't care how unfortunate your childhoods were. Killing humans will never be okay. I didn't expect a demon to understand. Oh yeah. I was honestly I don't remember what his fucking problem was. But yeah, he even got like hit with a fucking bottle. Like that does a shit ton of damage.
This way.
I mean, he wore bandages and shit. Well, the thing about hers was that her mother was, one, her mother was in on it, and two, she was being sold to, like showbiz executives. Like, that's...
This is it.
Like, showbiz, like, sexual crimes are really hard to get through. And it doesn't help that the mom is involved.
Stairs?
This is the secret passageway we prepared in case of emergency. Go through here.
So
and you can get outside
maybe like she could have tried it, but I don't know how much how effective it would have been. But you're right, that is a very tiny hole.
What are you doing? Hurry up and leave. Hey, what's the holdup? If you just go through here, you'll be outside of the city.
I don't think she can physically fit in it.
Didn't you want to run away? Didn't you want to escape this town?
That's right, that's what I've always wanted. At least that's what I thought. Toko, is it really okay for me to go?
Do whatever you want. It has nothing to do with me.
Oh my. Seems like I made
No! Oh, God!
Man, that was close. Truly a last-minute save.
You? Why are you here?
Why am I here?
You think Shingetsu was getting injected with despair juice?
So that our boring and common protagonist, who has no distinct characteristics, doesn't just quit.
Huh?
Komaru Naegi, though you are normal, not an ultimate, or even a part of Future Foundation, I really do think quite poorly of the idea that you would abandon your friend and run off alone. Are you really going to just run away
It
like this?
might be enough to spark an investigation. It also might not be.
Stop it! What are you saying? She's about to leave for good.
Keep in mind that the Japanese police system is,
That is why I must convince
questionable.
Huh?
It would be disappointing if she did not see the game through to the end, how it was meant to be.
Don't just go speaking your mind without permission. You're a servant.
Hajime Hinata, not an actor. My life was a complete waste until I started drinking despair juice. I have nothing to light batters. It gives zero shits. That's why I'm squared. This is funny. So the Japanese police system, there's plenty of things wrong with it just in general, but one of the most, like, I want to get the exact number. Oh, no, I can't. No, I think I can use my phone. What is the exact number? I think it's a 90% in conviction rate. Japan. They touch on it. It's one of the major themes in Persona 5. Japan's conviction rate. Here we go. $793. Nope, that's in Israel. Why the fuck were you giving me Israel if I say, oh, it's 99.9%? Yeah, so they touch on it. This is a major theme of Persona 5. Basically, in Japan, they, like, when they're investigating a crime, they'll just, like, grab a criminal and they'll be like, okay, you did it, admit to it. And the person will be like, nah. And then the Japanese police will be like, alright, well, guess we're gonna break your legs. And then they break your legs and they're like, I did it. And, like, I think they have, like, the highest conviction rate in the world. It's, like, I just looked it up. It's 99.9%. There's a lot of questionable practices in the Japanese police system, and just knowing how showbiz works and, like, the connections and the amount of money that flows through it, and part of it, you know, like, those kinds of crimes generally go unreported, just period, and don't usually spark investigations, and the Japanese police kind of suck. And I will at least say, and this isn't a commentary on Japan's child care system, which I imagine is terrible. I imagine it's actually worse than America's. But I know in America, there's a good, like, a good portion of, like, child protective services just don't care enough to actually properly investigate things. So, that's why I say they're, like, she might have gotten help, but without any, like, hard evidence where she can be like, hey, look at all this nonsense. It would be, there's also, I think, an almost equal percent chance that they would just ignore her problems. Shingetsu, though, like, he even mentions he's been staying up for 3 to 4 days. They're literally injecting him with despair juice. He could go to his fucking, like, to a police station and be like, look at my fucking eyes and look at these goddamn track marks all over my fucking arm where they're shoving needles and IVs into me. Like, that's easily provable. Like, the first one you pointed out, he got fucking beat by his dad. I think he mentions he gets hit with a bottle. Bottles do a fuck ton of damage. So he could just be like, look at all this. You know, so that's all pretty provable. But she unfortunately would probably just slip through the cracks on that one. And Jotaro, his only real complaint was that he had to wear a fucking mask that he could just totally take off. Like, his would be basically impossible to prove. Like, all his mom would have to say is, I don't tell him to wear the mask, he just wears it on his own. And the police would be like, alright.
Listen to me. In order to see our paradise, this girl cannot stay here.
I'm not confident that's illegal.
Which is more important to the Warriors of Hope?
What are you talking about? It's obviously...
The game, of course.
What?
You're a smart one. You must be at least vaguely aware. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sneaking about. You could have openly proposed a halt to these slayings to focus entirely on building paradise. And the reason you did not do exactly that, and are instead going behind their backs, is because you realize your favorite Miss Mage would choose the game over paradise. Do you know what you call someone who behaves like you're behaving? A traitor.
You're wrong. I care about them more than anyone. They all have high hopes for me. I mean, I am the leader.
Nagisa. Isn't it best if you just calm down a little? You can leave the rest to me.
Ugh.
Okay, I really think you should.
Damn it!
Don't trust him!
That's right. People who are not needed in this scene should go and make their exit.
Oh, no, yeah, he's...
What are you talking about?
I'm not saying he doesn't have his problems, but I'm just saying I don't think there's anyone he could have gone to for his problems. Just like I don't think... I think there's a pretty good chance that the, like, actress wouldn't have been able to do anything either.
Little sister. I was intrigued.
His... Makoto? Do you know him?
Now listen, since I've planned the game out this far, I would like it to be completed. Of course, perhaps I am being somewhat unfair to you, Komaru. Rather, the one who disappointed me was Toko.
What's Monika's issue?
Huh?
Her father and brother got jealous of her and put her in a wheelchair. Just, like, beat the shit out of her.
Now, perhaps I am mistaken, but I believe we made a promise. You were to escort her to headquarters.
Although, and it's worth noting in her case, that her family literally owns the city and has been stated to have even more money than Byakuya.
Promise escort?
Who is part of the Illuminati. So...
Oh, I really think
she's also kind of fucked.
Answers that question. But if you continue to be silent, the story cannot progress. So I will speak. I made a deal with Toko.
That's true. I called him Naegi in a wig for like the
If she
first
escorts
2
you to the
streams.
children's main base, I will release Byakuya
No,
to
her
Gon.
talent is that she can
Consider
control people.
exchanging hostages.
Also, she
Plans
has
between
money.
you and Byakuya.
So it's better than Byakuya. She has all of Byakuya's powers and an actual power.
And it was such a good deal, too. Why did it have to come to this?
That's a lie, right? You're lying right now, aren't you? You're just making it up.
If you believe it to be a lie, think back on when you two first...
Well, Monica's isn't, because,
When you first arrived at the hospital on your parachute, did you know why Toko turned up there? She came to save you because she was told where you would be landing. How else could you possibly explain such a contrived encounter? The reason Toko has been your companion through all this was because of her deal with me.
Lies!
what?
You're lying!
I went through considerable
Toko,
trouble
you're
making
the
sure you
only
completed
character
this.
I might actually believe making a deal with the Despair Boys.
Returning the hacking gun you had lost, having the Monokuma kids deliver items, that was me. Consider it game balance, as they say. You've thought about it before, I'm sure. Why enemies conveniently drop items, why the path you must travel on to advance is always clear. The game began as a way for the children to have fun, but it was also a game to help you grow. And I am the one who made it that way.
Why me?
You mean,
Well,
why was I so
see, we
particular
have the
about
reveal
choosing you?
here that... I forgot his actual name. Servant was behind everything, so he can guarantee she lands on the roof because he is very, very lucky. You don't need a sensible plan if you have luck.
Well, that is all your brother's fault, of course.
Kodo?
He defeated Junko and Oshima, the one I truly hate. And I wasn't there to witness it. That's why, this time around, I wanted to see the action up close. And not only that, unlike him, an ultimate, you are a normal girl who can't do anything. That was particularly compelling. Her brother, a hero, the symbol of hope. The little sister, utterly boring by comparison. If someone like you were to stand against despair, that would bring hope to the people.
I don't understand his character anymore.
Hope is exclusively found on the side of the weak, the losing side. People are touched by underdog stories, slaying Goliath, the weaker team winning a game. The majority of society
Because they're playing him like they did in Danganronpa 2.
are inspired by such tales.
But he's under despair mind control in this game, because this is supposed to be before DR2.
What are you saying?
If my assumptions are correct,
So why is he still crazy in the same way he was in 2 when 2 was in his reversion period?
and in order for that to happen, I need you to participate in my game. Through the game, you will grow, defeat the final boss, and become the hope for this town. That's why it would be quite disappointing if you give up halfway through. Please, save this town from despair. Show me your dazzling light of hope to crush despair.
Really want pancakes for breakfast. Convenient accident that kills 8 people in front of your house provides perfectly made pancakes.
What do you mean? I'm hope? I don't understand what you mean at all.
I don't understand what he means at all either.
I see. So you still don't understand. I blame myself. I should have been more enthusiastic. But regardless, I truly do believe in you. No matter how big the despair, hope will always win in the end. That is why I feel no remorse becoming despair myself.
Oh, that line explains everything. He's just as bad as Junko. he's crazier than those kids.
What you two are going to do now. I mean,
Okay, he uses the same reasoning as Junko, but for a different, like... He uses the same reasoning as Junko, but is looking for a different outcome than Junko.
What he's saying, it's a lie.
So he's
right?
Junko, but with hope instead of despair.
That I'm gonna be traded for Byakuya, and you've been lying this whole time. That's gotta be a lie, right?
These games really make the words hope and despair lose all actual meaning.
Who would actually want to save someone like you? Of course it's not a lie.
What?
All this time I was protecting you and cheering you up. It was all for the sake of Master Byakuya.
Toko.
That's right. I was deceiving you. And you just kept relying on me. Toko! Toko! Trusting me like a
So did he become a despair boy as, like, a matter of convenience?
I believed in you.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. Why would you believe in me? I have a split personality with a serial killer. I'm abnormal. All my life, nobody even tried to trust me. It's always been like that.
That's not true. I tried very hard to
That's
trust
why
you in that game.
I've never had a problem lying to people. But regardless,
Also,
why do
welcome,
you
illustrious
believe in
Rocket.
someone like me?
Toko.
From the very start, I hated you. Just being with you was insufferable.
Lies. It's all lies.
I'm not lying. It's the truth. I tricked you from the start. You were a fool not to realize it. You're just a stupid idiot who got set up by the coward Toko Fukawa. Simple as that.
14. Was she posed?
Toko. Don't you think that maybe your ranting isn't helping?
Was she 14 and...
If you put it like that,
So she's
she would be
probably,
even
like...
more motivated to
She's
leave
probably,
the
like,
game,
16 if
wouldn't
she
you
was
know?
supposed to be 14.
If you want to stop her, you've got to try harder. Byakuya is important to you, right?
Guess there's no other way. By force if I have to.
Force? Gotta kill!
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. She was 14 when he entered school. So she's, like, 16 now.
Toko!
That's my thing. I didn't know how old she was supposed to be.
Seriously gonna kill you! Stop it already, Toko!
I won't let you escape, Kumaru Naoki. It would be troublesome.
Oh, she's immortal.
for your role.
Future Foundation made that stun gun. And my hacking gun should be able to...
If you don't defeat me, you'll never be able to leave this town. If you don't get serious, I'm seriously gonna kill you!
I mean, I can't actually figure out how to hurt you.
If you don't defeat me, you'll never be able to leave
Nope,
this
not
town.
dance.
Ow!
What the fuck just happened?
If you don't get serious, I'm seriously gonna kill you!
What?
You have to... Yes! It works on the stun gun!
If you don't defeat me, you'll never be able to leave this town. See? Now what are you gonna do? You done already? If you don't get serious, I'm seriously gonna
So the problem is I don't have enough,
Done already. Ow.
I don't have enough ammo to actually beat her.
Done already. If you don't defeat me, you'll never be able to leave.
Huh. That's strange. Even with the hacking gun, Komaru should be easily outmatched by Toko.
If you don't get serious, I'm seriously gonna kill you! You done already? If you don't defeat me, you'll never be able to leave this town. Alright!
Haha! And then my clothes just reappear.
Toko.
Oh, I lost consciousness. That means I must have lost. If that's the case, I can't stop you now. Hurry up and run! What are you doing? If you don't hurry, next time I really will take you by force.
You did it on purpose, didn't you? You lost on purpose.
What?
You lost on
Probably.
purpose so you can let me go. Right? Saying cruel things to me and attacking me without warning. It was an act, wasn't it? So that I wouldn't hesitate to leave you here.
What are you talking about? Why would you think that?
Don't treat me like an idiot. I already know you're much stronger than I am.
Do we know this?
We've been together all this time. Toko, why?
If things stayed the same, you never would have made a move, would you? You always made me decide. You didn't do anything on your own.
So you wanted to give me a chance?
That's not true. She made the decision to call Future Foundation from the top of the tower by herself, and you kept saying not to do it, and she insisted on doing it. That's just blatantly
I
wrong.
was with you all this time, you know? I know you well, too. And also, listening to this crazy idiot's orders just makes my skin crawl. Hope. It sounds disgusting when you say it.
Well, that is completely understandable. Are you really okay with this? If Miss Komaru runs away, the safety of the hostage cannot be guaranteed. Well, personally, it's for the sake of the game. Byakuya Togami is important to you, is he not? Then allow me to lend a hand. See, you'll still make it if you go now.
Don't get your blood on my glasses. I'm the Cinderella of the Slaughterflower Garden.
Are we gonna act like she didn't just shock herself in the head and unleash Jill 5 seconds ago?
Please! Please stop!
Ha! Get fucked, loser!
Shut the hell up, you lanky, wavy-haired bastard!
All right. Even though you two share knowledge, you don't share memories, correct? So then, you have no idea who the real enemy is. An honest mistake, I suppose.
Idiot! It's no mistake. What I share with her isn't just knowledge. She and I also share emotions. If we didn't, there's no way we'd both love Master. And my emotions are telling me this. To kill you and let Dekomaru escape.
That's the most horrifying aspect I've ever heard of Jill.
So I can kill you as I like. No remorse.
I see. So you've decided to stop taking advantage of Komaru Naegi. Is that friendship?
Huh?
To travel the harsher path for the sake of protecting your friend. Such beautiful friendship. I truly think it's a splendid thing. But aren't you a serial killer? You're an aberrant who has no problem taking lives to satiate your own lusts. For someone like that to say things like friendship or friends, do you not find it strange? Or even shameful?
I can't breathe. Friendship. Friends. Obviously friggin' not. How you calling my friend?
No! You're my friend!
What are you doing? Let go!
No, I won't! I mean, you made a promise with Byakuya, right? You said you won't kill anyone anymore. If you keep your promise, you can be an official member of Future Foundation. That's why you just can't. I never thought of you or Toko as abnormal, not even one bit. You're just a little strange, that's all.
That's
Even so, you are
what abnormal
important to me.
means.
You and I are friends now, no matter what happens. You're a precious friend and I won't let you do this!
You know, you're probably wasting your time. I mean, after all, she knows she needs to kill me. Byakuya's life is in danger as long as I am alive. If she breaks the promise we made and lets you escape...
I'll stay. If that's how it is. If I stay in the city and go with her, then it's fine, right?
That's right.
Hey! You know what the hell you're talking about? You were crying and whining about escaping earlier, remember? Now what? You change your mind?
I still want to escape. I'm still scared. Even now, but you feel the same way, don't you? You were scared too, but you tried to help me escape. And hid how afraid you really were inside, didn't you? There's no way I can run now, leaving you behind!
As expected. You just don't get it. I betrayed you. I betrayed you, you know?
No, you didn't. And you're suffering from guilt, aren't you? If you're hurting, you can tell me. I'm an unreliable, normal girl who can't do anything. But I can at least do normal things, right? And it's normal for a friend to help a friend. I'll stay. No matter how much you say no, I will definitely stay with you, all right? I've decided.
Man, so annoying. All that lip service talk that I hate, so damn irritating. Anybody can just say something. In that case, I'm a great detective, an astronaut, a reporter, and a Terra super beauty. And besides, you have absolutely no idea what I'm really like.
What do you mean?
Didn't she
There's
kill
no
like
way I'd say no.
500 guys?
Rather. Thanks.
Toko! Oh. So, about what just happened.
It's alright. I kinda figured out what was happening.
Huh? Really?
Friend? The last time I was called that was in a dream I had in grade school.
Last time you were called that was like 3 hours ago in this game, Toko, and then you reacted poorly.
You don't have to take it that seriously.
You bring that up now? Let me have this moment a bit longer, jeez!
Well, guess it turned out
So
all right.
not funny!
If Komaru Naegi had run away, the hope of this city would have gone with her.
So, if Nagato had died here, the only real difference I could see, like, being made in future events is that, Teru Teru and Byakuya may still be alive. Chieki may have lived also, but considering she was part of the system that was crashing, they probably would have found a way to take her down anyway. And honestly, fake Byakuya may or may not have died anyway. But the only real impact he had was, like, convincing Teru Teru to try and kill someone. He solved Mikon. That is unfortunately true. Which is the worst, because literally Mikon is the only one that could have conceivably done it.
To prevent that, a wound like this will not diminish my resolve. Though it does.
We've already seen Hajime.
It's time you started talking. How do we release Master Byakuya?
All you have to do is defeat the final boss. You saved the princess after defeating the final boss, right? In theory.
In theory?
I was not the only one who came up with the plan to take you to the children's base. I have a partner, but I'm not sure what they are planning, to be honest.
Who is that?
There's no way I would tell you that. I have already been disqualified.
So wait a minute, is Nagato working with Toa Boy?
But it'll be alright. No matter what kind of despair awaits you, hope will overcome it. The deeper and darker the despair, the brighter and more powerful the hope born from it.
Yeah, you're crazy, all right.
You are seriously disgusting. You're like 3 steps below vomit in a toilet.
Anyway, all you need to do is progress forward. I will support you until the very end.
So in order to get back Byakuya, we need to stop the children's rioting, right? Then I'll do it. Right, Toko?
But are you sure you can do this?
There's no way I can accept leaving you behind. Thanks to you, I've come this far. And not just that. Maybe I'm not really attached to this town, but I will save my friend.
You'd be crazy to be attached to this town.
Komaru.
Oh, and one more thing. I have a little hint for you. The building the children are using as a headquarters is called Toa Hills.
That's not a hint, that's a... Okay.
Marching in there with just the two of you would be a bit suicidal. Monokumas have dug in all around Toa Hills. Even you two would have trouble with that many.
Then what do we need to do?
Well, we could ask for help. From Shirokuma and Haichi.
Their help?
They want to stop the children as much as we do. Shirokuma said it too. If we work together, everyone can be saved. And everyone's happy, right?
What? Where did that come from?
It tastes 2 times better? That's a pretty good hint.
But I think you and I can do it. It's going to be all right.
Such splendid growth. Your world has gradually grown wider, as expected of his little sister. My judgment was indeed correct. Ah, that reminds me. The resistance base is in the sewers.
The implication of this is that Hope is somehow hereditary.
In that case, there should be an entrance to the subway if you go through the business district. As I recall, there was a blue building. If you move through there, you'll reach the base.
You're sending us on a pretty specific
That is
path.
true.
Is this also part of your scheme?
If you add the pie crust after you put the filling in, you just get a weird crumble.
I would prefer that you think of it as support. It is information that will help you.
Well, it doesn't matter what you're scheming. Master and Kamaru, I'll protect them both. Even if it takes my life.
Do your best. Defeat despair. That's it. Just a little longer. Just a little longer, and that light of hope will swallow the despair of this place. I can't wait.
Well, it would be...
So upset over something like this. You really are a child.
Like, if he had his hand cut off, he wouldn't have his, he wouldn't have the Junko hand visible in the flashback in Danganronpa 2 to the boat scene.
Kamaru, thank you.
So we actually can't lose it in this game.
Saying it so plainly like that. It's actually kind of refreshing.
Yeah, for me too. I've never really thanked anyone before.
Okay, that sounds like a problem.
You know what? I hadn't considered reattaching a hand for the second time. I guess it makes as much sense as attaching it the first time, so why not?
He said there's a subway entrance at the blue building in the business district, right?
Yeah, we need to get there for now. What? What do you want?
Challenge. I challenge you to a treasure hunt. You look like a dummy, so I'll be nice and give you a hint. There are 3 letters written on the treasure box. XTL. The odd box with the letter that looks like L, but has an X, is the real one. That's the end of the hint. QED. Wish you the best of luck.
You can't seriously be thinking... Weren't we going to the subway station? Well, either way, do whatever you want.
So, yeah, so that very long scene, but not painfully long like some of the others, revealed a very startling information.
Going to the subway. Didn't we already go there before? We should be going for something more like a woman's ultimate happiness.
You could think about your marriage to Byakuya later.
It revealed that Jack and Toko share emotions, which is noteworthy because Genocide Jack is a serial killer who's killed like 500 dudes. Okay, so the shields actually project in front of them. Which means that I've died. It means I've died.
What are you doing to Kamaru?
Means that Toko enjoys serial murder. But it also means that Genocide Jack would also share all of Toko's weird
Could it be that the letters have something to do with the paths drawn here?
Toko-y feelings.
For this.
I got burn. Guess split personality is something we can add to Kadoka's list of shit he doesn't understand. Very true.
Yeah, you're right.
Number 1. Everything. It appears you've obtained burn. Burn is it? Well, to be fair, she triggers it by passing out and sneezing. I mean, it was already clear that they didn't understand dissociative identity disorder. Is that the Japanese symbol of burn? I don't know. It looks pretty cool. You know, burns off Monokuma's generator devices. It's a high rate of fire, so it's perfect for shooting at enemies who move swiftly. It's downright awesome against those beast Monokumas. I think it'd be really good against enemies who are running straight at you. Go try it out. Oh god, you are not wrong about fucking weight. It looks like it shoots the word fire.
That Monokuma is flying? Okay, we're getting pretty far from the whole bear concept.
Yes, yes. Don't forget talent.
He said there's a sub.
Just the concept of talent.
I'm fed up with going to the subway. Didn't we already go there before? We should be going for something more like a woman's ultimate happiness.
You could think about your marriage to Byakuya later.
This is a very long list. To be fair, what's the worst that could happen?
Could it be that the letters have something to do with the paths drawn here?
You look really pumped for this.
Bam!
I messed up again!
Just give it up already.
I will say, I don't think luck's that bad. But I haven't seen the anime. And there is a scene where Makoto dodges a a can by falling on his face. So maybe you can leave luck on there. Alright, I think I'm gonna break into that room, and we'll just see what happens.
It's another arcade machine room.
Alright, how does this one work?
The shield ones are everywhere. It'd be a shame to miss defeating some.
Okay, we got some water, huh? Okay, so the objective is to... Okay, if we hit that one with move, and then that one with move. Yeah, I think we hit that one and that one with move. Let me out of this room. Nope, okay. I may have forgotten how to pull up that map, actually. Okay, let's try... I don't even know what to say to that. Like, that's really bad.
I'm fed up with going to the subway. Didn't we already go there before? We should be going for something more like a woman's ultimate happiness.
You could think about your marriage to Byakuya later.
There we go. Nailed it. Can't say I didn't nail it. Can't prove I didn't nail it. Nailed it.
It's that arcade machine again. Let's get a move on.
Alright, so
The shield ones are everywhere.
I think if I turn this one on and this one on, these two will move. And I don't think there's any reason to turn that one on. And then I can fire at that one with the paralyze, and I think it should spread between all three of them, and then that'll catch into the water and then kill all of them. That's my thought. That's what I think will happen. Nailed it. Yay, I'm at full health after you stabbed me with scissors. This one. That one. That one. And that one. And super studying technique. Okay, and what's this green one? Nailed it. Alright. So, we got we got Re-Rise, Number Monokuma attains, oh god, we need that, and Super Studying Technique 8, which increases XP. Let's see, Precision Shot, Super Precision Shot, and Auto Lock are useless to us. So I think we're good. Yeah, after this, I'm gonna have to watch the, like, 5 animes they made. Five and a half.
Could it be that the letters have something to do with the paths drawn here?
You look really pumped for this.
She's talking about the letters having something to do with the paths drawn. What the fuck are they talking about?
What the heck are you doing?
So where is the tea box then? I mean, it's a one-way street, so I think the T-box can't be in this street.
That Monokuma is flying?
Ow!
Okay, we're getting pretty far from the whole bear concept here.
Okay, these things are super dangerous. Like, outrageously dangerous.
I messed up.
There's a lot of small Japanese-style bars. Can you drink alcohol, Toko? Or are you underage?
She is underage.
Jeez, no need to bring up such a touchy subject.
Not my best work. Okay, so there's two paths we can go. Does the map reveal where to go? No, it does not. But this does say there's a treasure chest this way.
Ah, signs. Reliable as always. Looks like the subway is that way.
Never take me alive. Nailed it. I didn't nail it. Yeah, not super fan of that one, to be honest.
I messed up. There's the blue building.
Mostly because I feel like it'll incentivize the game to make it so I need to machine gun things, but that's so ammo dependent. That we're gonna run into ammo issues a lot. The war between Despair and Toa is near. It's been rumored that a full-on war between the Ultimate Despairs and the Toa group is drawing near. Ever since the incident, Toa group has been doing everything it can to counteract the Despair. We can't really know what they're thinking, but the Ultimate Despairs didn't attack Toa group in Toa City. But it's hard to imagine that will be the case forever. This stalemate can't continue. It's only a matter of time till the Ultimate Despairs show their true colors. But before then, we dearly hope this incident is over. Oh wow, they're actually, like, bizarrely easy to kill.
Could it be?
I wonder if those kids were also treated cruelly by their parents. Even if they were, would it matter? Even if their parents were murdered, it doesn't give them the right to kill people. You're right. No matter the reason, this is just... it's unforgivable.
It's far too suspicious.
And not just that, it's peculiar. I don't doubt the ringleaders had terrible childhoods, but I can't think of any reason for all these other kids to suddenly be motivated to kill. So why are the other children going along with this?
You're right.
I have a bad feeling about this. Is this building just a building?
It's another arcade machine room.
If they bunch up near the car, we can defeat them all in one go.
But how? Alright, if we set this off, he'll start dancing. But how do I get them to do it? What do we have? Paralyze, dance, and move. Huh. The problem is I don't fully understand how fucking paralyze works. Destroy them all with electricity. So it is definitely a paralyzed one. There's no water on the... Oh, there is water on the ground! Okay. Alright. Wait. Okay. Okay, so the trigger is I've got to get these Monokumas to stand in this water. I don't know how that's possible. Because these are turned this way, right? Oh, it looks like you don't get the treasure if you open any wrong treasure box. So I think we should reload anyway. Well, fuck. We gotta reload no matter what, then. Or we're not gonna get whatever fucking treasure this is. Alright. One thing I don't like about this game is the lack of save points.
Did we already go there before? We should be going for something more like a woman's ultimate happiness.
You could think about your marriage to Byakuya later.
So the reloads are, like, way far.
Be that the letters have something to do with the paths drawn here?
You look really pumped for this.
Okay, on the plus side, we know the solution to this one.
Arcade machine again.
The shield ones are everywhere. It'd be a shame to miss defeating some.
And then F, and then paralyze. And nailed it. Alright. And this time we might as well avoid the green one anyway. Crip Re-Rise and Super Studying. And then just leave. Oh shit, I am getting really tired. But I want to get at least one save point in, you know what I'm saying? Does Force Battle theme get sacked? Edgy seal. Oh boy. I give it 2 razor blades out of 5. It is slightly edgy.
That Monokuma is flying? Okay, we're getting pretty far from the whole bear concept here.
Here we go. That's a T. Oh, I finally found a T. Well, let's be fair. If you ever read Book of Revelation, it's a little edgy itself. Although the whole thing is a metaphor. Okay. So apparently a good suggestion is to increase effect on your burn bullets or whatever. So we're gonna see what increases our effect the most. Well, Furiously probably does it. Ornately and Furiously, huh? And then we'll move that over to Burn. There we go. And then we'll find something else for Paralyze. Like... Largely. And... Abundant... I don't know. Only one left is Town Battle. Power and the reason that we're fighting for. Control your body, your soul, your heart. Yes, some of us hasten on like lambs to the slaughter. Get the power to reach the next stage. I give it a half a razor blade. It was totally fine until the lambs to the slaughter part, and then I'm like, ugh, you just had to get a little in there, didn't you? All right. So I'm just looking at a walkthrough. That's where we're at now.
there's a lot of small Japanese-style bars. Can you drink alcohol, Toko? Or are you underage?
Please, no need to bring up such a touchy subject.
We've actually had this conversation before about the god-killing trope in Megami Tensei. And games that involve, like, JRPGs that involved you killing gods. No, being underage isn't a topic that's taboo in Japan. I think it's more that she's asking Toko her age. Toko, like, was a little, like, touchy about it. Earlier in the game, so it's a bit of a callback. Alright, this one sounds like an ass pain. There's a lot of challenge rooms here. So lingers the ocean, the love that is far too pure for the main character, me, and the fisherman, you. An indubitable foray into the inner peace at the skillful stroke of a pen. Popular female author Toko Fukawa's most renowned work, the long-awaited unabridged version. This isn't ass pain, your review of the game. It will be involved in the review for sure. This is... What if she's like, no, that one sucks too. I was young. That's right, it's my novel. Got a problem with that?
Amazing!
No, not at all. I'm really impressed. I've read this. It was sad and was really good too. I can't believe it. You were the writer of So Lingers?
Don't mess with me.
So Lingers? You're abbreviating the title of the book I wrote to my face? And of course it's really good. Who do you think wrote it? As expected of the ultimate writing prodigy, you sure have confidence. But I mean, if you can write a beautiful romance like this, you can definitely marry Byakuya.
Are you an idiot?
Just don't be an idiot. What's written in there is pure fantasy. There's no way I can act like that in reality. Oh, really? What I write in my novels is my idea of an ideal world. Because I know it'll never be reality. I have to write it in fiction. Didn't she just say it was really sad? So you write it because you can't have it? But don't most writers write from experience?
Nothing.
Not necessarily. My theory is that happy people can only write happy, shallow novels. But the downtrodden can vividly imagine their ideal world, perfectly envision true beauty. And that's the spirit I put into my novels. Well, I kind of get that, but I kind of don't.
Well...
But based on my theory, I wonder if I can keep writing interesting novels. Huh? What do you mean?
Like I said...
Like I said, I'm concerned if I have a friend like you, and I'm happy.
Could it be?
So you mean making friends with me made you a little happier? What?
Don't mess with me.
No, there's no way a crybaby schoolgirl like you could actually interfere with my writing. You underestimate the intensity of my novels. But you said so yourself. Well, if you're that confident, I'm sure you'll be just fine. So, she knew that she was the ultimate writing prodigy because she had the conversation with Makoto earlier where she was told that Toko was the ultimate writing prodigy, not because she actually recognized the name Toko Fukawa. And she didn't realize that the books, whatever, By the Ocean, so whatever, it so lingers. Fuck you, Toko. She didn't realize So Lingers was written by Toko because, honestly, that's it. Like, not everyone bothers to remember who writes something. Like, I certainly don't.
If they bunch up near the car, we can defeat them all in one go.
Okay. And so she's like, oh yeah, I did read one of your books. It was really good. Oh, trust me, it's something I can get behind too, if you know what I mean. Okay, Move on the hologram, then shoot the car with move to unlock the normal Monokuma. After that, shoot the siren with dance. Wait till the guard are pressed against the car. There's extra water over there. And wait until all the normal Monokuma gather around as well. Be extra careful as... Fuck you, phone. As the normal Monokuma have a tendency to run back and forth through the water, so time your paralyzed shot well. Okay, so... here we go. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. What the fuck?
Right.
Nailed it. Hey. Fuck you and die. Alright. Okay. It says this is the one.
Sad face. Ha! I believe I can handle this riddle myself.
Well, good, because I wasn't planning on helping anyway.
Fuck yeah. Oh. Alright, this... Fuck yeah. Running gun. Musabi is the weirdest reason in all of Nocturne because of how it complicates things. The other reasons are more simple. Musabi is more of it. The gist is Musabi is a world in which everyone is the center of the own universe, where everything is how you envision. Everyone is fake, but you choose people have their own world tailored to their desire. Oh, it's a Lotus Eater. I think I'm slightly... Yeah, I am slightly slower. Okay. So there's basically 2 directions to go in now. Maybe 3. Maybe 5. I don't know. I don't think the game is intending me to go all the way back here. I should be paying attention to where I'm going. Okay. It's weird that there are no school uniforms in Pokemon. Like, I can't buy one. At least as far as I've gotten into the game. I bet you can get one in the final city and it's like $1 billion. Sometimes they do that.
There's an arcade machine over there. We need them all to blow.
Alright, destroy them with one explosion, huh? We have move, dance, and break. That's interesting. Okay. She has the weirdest theory that connects Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And SMT Strange Journey. Okay. You know what? That's okay. Wait. Okay, no, good. I still have battle skill. Her theory is that Pokemon is the result of the new Chaos ending, and that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the result of the new Law ending. You know, I haven't played Strange Journey, so I can't dispute that. But I've played enough Pokemon to know the history of the Pokemon world.
It's that arcade machine again. Let's get a move on.
The new Chaos ending is that Jimenez creates a world in which humans and demons coexist, where the Law ending, Zelen sacrificed herself to unify humanity and destroy all life forms of violence, and now people found new ways to work out aggression. Huh. Interesting themes there. Did you know that people used to marry Pokemon? This is Maja Fujisaurus Fujikawa Yamada, a manga artist demon who made Tara Spa. Before you kill it, make it write lots of manga and put you in a comic book, and if it complains, choke it to make it do what you want. It likes to draw naked pictures of boy demons, so give it plenty of bodies to draw. Oh yeah, people used to marry Pokemon. Yeah. They stopped, but it is specifically mentioned in a book that happened. And by in a book, I mean a book in the games mentions it. So it's like super canon. You know, the problem with Ditto is that if a Ditto tries to copy something it hasn't seen before or isn't currently looking at, it comes out with imperfections. So if you marry a Ditto, like, don't think that it's like, oh, Ditto can be whatever I want it to be. It can be... It like, you just get, like, a weird amorphous blob, which if what you're into, hey, you know what I'm saying? Showed a picture. You know what? Ditto probably could transform from a picture. Well, then I think the back would be all fucked up, right? What would happen if Ditto became a dildo? I think you'd have a dildo. I think that would be the result. I think I'm going to run all the way back to the save point, because I would hate to have to reload and do any of this fucking shit again. But yeah, I don't see a reason why Ditto couldn't be a dildo. I don't know if it can turn into objects, but I assume it can if it can turn into a people. Okay, well, to be fair, I don't think cave people had a very good understanding of infection. But, yeah, there's I will always remember one thing about Pokemon, which is that might also be huge ass animals that could kill them and shit. Yeah, that probably had a lot to do with stuff, too. I was going to school, and I just randomly turned on an episode of, like, the Pokemon anime. And it was an episode of, like the Diamond and Pearl series. And Ash was talking to Cynthia, and Ash was like, "Oh, you're the Pokemon champion." And Cynthia's like, "Well, yeah, I am the Pokemon champion, but what I really like to do is research the Great Pokemon War." And that was when I was like, "I'm sorry, the Great Pokemon War?" And Ash was like, "The Great Pokemon War?" And Cynthia's like, "Yeah, there was a large war about 500 years ago where warlords, groups of warlords commanded armies of Pokemon and did battle with each other." And ever since I've heard that, I've always wondered, why the fuck are we watching Ash's story when there was a great Pokemon war? Like, that would make such a better show. Like, who gives a fuck about Ash? Tell us about the Great Pokemon War. Well, we do know about a similar war. We do know that Pokemon wars have occurred all throughout history, because we know of one that occurred about 300 years ago in France that resulted in the construction of a doomsday weapon that wiped out all life in, like 100 miles, 1,000 miles. It's a lot of space that everything just died in. Well, if we do a good job of keeping records, the answer will be hopefully. But probably not. Black hole thing in the Typhon. UN sends scientists, soldiers all over the world to investigate and find a demon city. Well, there's a bit of difference between, like, misconceptions that, like, the public has and, like, actual information being lost. What the hell is a bugaboo? Where was that? Where was that building I missed? Oh, I think it was over here to the right, right? Oh, it was definitely El Trip.
Reliable as always. Looks like the subway is that way.
100%. Absolutely, Samson killed 10,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a donkey. And then made a dumb pun. Hi, would you like to come attack me, please? Well, Toko, you just did not make good decisions.
There's the blue building!
Can you go ahead and die, please? Thank you. Bugaboo, also known as Bugbear or Boogeyman. Oh, okay. I've literally never heard it called that ever. I don't even think that's a true statement. Survivors of the Killing School. Ta-da! The ones who survived the famous Battle Royal are the C6 lucky students. Makoto Naegi, Byakuya Togami, Kyoko Kirigiri, Toko Fukawa, Oi Asahina, and Yasuhiro Higakure. Which of the kids had it worse? Let me look at their faces so I can remember what happened to them. Kotoko. Kotoko had it worse. Yeah, probably Kotoko. Not that any of them had it great. Although, point of order, Monica had it worse than Masaru. Because we know he was beat by his alcoholic dad, but he could still walk. And Monica's dad put her in a fucking wheelchair.
Another game corner here. The Monokuma kid has to be hiding here somewhere. Listen for the singing to find the
What
blast.
the fuck am I looking at right now? Oh. Oh, God, the timing on this is nightmarish. I also want an adult Pokemon game. That's exactly what I want. I want a fucking game where here's what I want. I want to play one of the veterans on like challenging the Pokemon League. And I want the rival of that game to be some shitty 10-year-old. That's what I want. And I want because there's a lot of themes in Pokemon that are touched on, but they can't get into because the game is still for kids, kind of. Like what it takes to actually be a professional Pokemon trainer. And I would like a game that was actually capable of delving into it. Like, they always just, like, hint at things. And I want a game where they're just allowed to do what they want. Oh, and I want an American Pokemon game. I want it set in America. Alright? It's time. We know America exists. They can't hide it from us. Alright? Alright? And I'm not... I mean, you could be like... Sack. Hawaii is in America. And you're right. But when you think of America, no one thinks of fucking Hawaii. Pokemon, the first several Pokemon games take place in Japan. Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond, I don't know about Diamond and Pearl, but I think Diamond and Pearl and Black and White, they all take place in Japan. And then they got bored of Japan. And then X and Y is in France. And Sun and Moon is in Hawaii. And Sword and Shield are in UK. And no, you do not kill one of your rival's Pokemon. What that's based on is a it's a fan theory about Blue's Raticata. Raticate. Blue's Raticate. See, Blue has a Raticate that you battle on a ship. And it just once you, like, he gets a Rattata early on, and once it evolves into a Raticate, you never see it again. After you battle it that one time on the ship. And when you go to Lavender Town and you visit the cemetery, he asks if you've ever had a Pokemon die before.
We got caught! What are you doing?
And you never see the Raticate again. And so the fan theory is that because he challenged you to a battle on a ship, you kill his Raticate on that ship, and he is mourning it. In Lavender Town. But he doesn't mention that his fucking Raticate dies. And Eradicate's not a particularly great Pokemon anyway. So it's honestly more likely he just shoved the fucking thing in a box. It's just one of those, like, theories, you know? Not like people marrying Pokemon, which is something we knew happened. R-A-C-A-T-T-E, Raticate, I think. And then there's a counter to that theory that his Raticate actually evolves before the level of Rattata evolves into a Raticate, and that you didn't actually kill it. He killed his own Pokemon by somehow, like, drugging it and forcing it to evolve early. When in reality, the first Pokemon game is just not great. It's not, like, unplayable or anything. It's just not as good at anything it does, I would say, as the later games. Every Pokemon game is definitely not the same game. It has similar gameplay, but they are not the same. The only Pokemon games I haven't played are the Gen 4. So Diamond and Pearl are the only ones I'm missing. Although I know the plot of Diamond and Pearl was that a guy was trying to become God.
Another game corner here. The Monokuma kid has to be hiding here
But
somewhere.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities and themes in the Pokemon games. But where the differences come in, is like the themes and the characters and the plots. There's a lot of like repeating motifs though. That is for sure true. Like starting from like Gen 3, it's very common for the legendary Pokemon of the game to somehow be involved in the main plot. No. The plot is not always just do gyms. In fact, in Sun and Moon, there aren't even gyms. Although there are the kahunas, which are gym-like. Fuck me!
Isn't this more Genocide Jack's thing?
I honestly don't remember the plot of the first game, though. I'm not even sure the first game had a plot. So that may actually be the plot of the first game. But the plot of the third game, which is when they started to actually put stories into the games, Ruby Sapphire, is that first game had Team Rocket, but I don't think Team Rocket did anything. There was a subplot, I think, about them creating Mewtwo or something. But, I couldn't read very well when I played it. So, I won't comment on the story of the original. I also didn't care to read back then. But, Ruby and Sapphire, I definitely know the story of. And the basic idea, it depends on which game you're playing, whether you're playing Ruby or Sapphire. We're gonna go with Sapphire, so that the story makes fucking sense, because the plot of Ruby is retarded. And so the plot of Sapphire, the not stupid one, is that Team Aqua is a team formed by a man named Archie, and they basically believe that humans suck and Pokemon are really cool. And so what they're going to do is they're going to harness the power of the legendary water Pokemon Kyogre, the creator of the oceans. And when I say creator of the oceans, I mean the creator of the ocean. And they're going to go ahead and have Kyogre flood the world, killing everyone, so that life will thrive underwater. And they're opposed by Team Magma, again in Sapphire, whose goal is to stop them because they don't want to die. There's fucking Pokemon everything, red and blue, ruby and emerald, fucking peanut butter and jelly. There isn't a peanut butter and jelly, but there should be. Sun ain't share. I'll trade you a fucking Umbrellion for your second pick. Oh, shit. I'd play Pokemon Peanut Butter and Jelly. Anyway, yeah, so Team Magma's trying to stop them because, you know, they live on land, so they don't want to die, which is fair. And they acquire an ancient artifact. It's created from a meteor by the, like, ancient indigenous historians that they believe can control Kyogre. And if I recall, you end up getting that orb from them because they try and use it in a fucking volcano because they think for some reason Kyogre lives in a fucking volcano or something. I'm a little fuzzy. I'm struggling to remember. But you end up getting that orb, and then they end up getting a different orb by literally robbing a grave. And they use that to... They discover... They get involved by... They steal a submarine from the Devon Corporation. And with it, they end up discovering the cave that Kyogre is hiding in. And they go into the cave where Kyogre is hiding in, and they try and control it with this orb by awakening it from its slumber. And they definitely awoke it from its slumber. There are multiple Pokemon God, but I imagine you're referring to the first Pokemon God of Arceus. But Arceus has nothing to do with Sapphire. So yeah, then they awaken the legendary creator of the oceans, and then, get this, it starts flooding the planet like they want it to. No, actually, Arceus exists in the game, and they were originally going to release it as a special event. But the thing about Arceus is they never ended up releasing the special event. So, you don't actually fight Arceus at any point. So no, God never got defeated by a Rattata. But, yeah, so you end up going into, it's flooding the world, and you have to go into an ancient legendary cave, near, like, a historical city, and you have to go in there, and you have to kick its fucking ass. And you can catch it. If you're good enough. At least in Ruby and Sapphire. In the remakes, they make you catch it. And I really don't understand why they started making you catch the legendaries, but... It used to be you had to try to catch the legendaries. But yeah, then you catch it, and then you go to the Pokemon League. And honestly, once you complete the story of the game, it kind of just feels like the Pokemon League is... That's the major issue about Pokemon, is that ever since, like, the first two games introduced the concept of the Pokemon League, all of the games tend to end with the Pokemon League, even if it feels like you're just kind of phoning it in at this point, because you've already done the story and saved the region. But yeah, that's just the plot of Sapphire. Which, again, makes more sense than Ruby. The difference is, in Ruby, Team Magma wants to expand the lands by drying up all the ocean. Because they think life will flourish better if there's no ocean. Like I said, Sapphire makes more sense than Ruby. Could Raito Kuzunoha participate in the Pokemon League? I don't know. Isn't that the, like, 1930s Megami Tensei protagonist? Okay, it's gotta be this one, right? Fuck you, yes.
The Monokuma's overheated. Break them all. No mercy.
No mercy, Toko. But the point about legendary Pokemon is that they're supposed to be... like, they exist mostly for lore reasons. They're, like, saviors of realms or aspects of some facet of reality. They're not supposed to be necessarily stronger than regular Pokemon. Although they actually are stronger than regular Pokemon. They usually have a metric fuck ton of stats. Usually. Like, Mew, for example, isn't particularly strong, but it's also worth noting that Mews are real. They're not that impressive anyway. Because the thing about Mew is that Mew is the first, like, mass... like, Mew is the first non-unique Pokemon. Like, there wasn't just a Mew. There were millions of Mews that populated the world. Like, Mew is a basic bitch. Mew used to be a common Pokemon, and then time happened, and it became less common. Satan's a pretty decent Pokemon.
Thanks for your business.
Ooh, I wonder if we can get anything with Powerfully. It does well with Correctly. Let's see, as for the plot of Sun and Moon, actually explaining it wouldn't do justice. It's actually... the story of Sun and Moon is, like, the only reason to play Sun and Moon. Although I hear they ruin it in Ultra. Which I own, but have not played. Did you know you could transfer Pokemon from the second set into the first game? From, What do you mean from the second set? From Gen 2 into Gen 1? You can transfer Gen 1 Pokemon into Gen 2, but you can't transfer unique Gen 2 Pokemon into Gen 1. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Gen 1 was really glitchy. Although, I don't know if you know the final boss of Gen 2. But there is a great moment in Gen 2 where you go back to the region of Gen 1, and you find out after defeating the Pokemon League, because the Johto region doesn't have its own Pokemon League, you find out that there's still one more challenger you have to defeat. So you end up climbing an entire mountain, and you get up there, like, to take on this, like, last challenger, and it's your main character from the first game, and the battle theme kicks on, and it's the, like, generic random encounter battle theme from the first game, because that has become the theme of that character, which is Pokemon Trainer Red. It's fucking awesome. Like, you get there and you just fight yourself from the first game, and the fucking theme plays, and you are a monster. And Red was the strongest final boss of a Pokemon game until Pokemon XY. He had, like, a level 80 Pikachu. It was fucking crazy. Fucking, what a good moment. Not, like, very story-rich, as far as I remember, for, like, Gold and Silver, but... But solid game all around. Honestly, you're kind of making me wish we'd fucking play Sun on this channel. We may end up doing Sun. Although I'd have to cheat after a certain point, because I have had issues. Is it as terrifying as fighting Daniel Fiend in Digital Devil Saga? The goal of that optional boss is to make the player feel like a random encounter. No, no. Red is not as tough as Demi-Fiend. Not that I've ever fought Demi-Fiend, but I do know that Demi-Fiend is considered to be the hardest boss in any JRPG. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say no. Okay, nailed it. Oh, we actually found that save point. Actually, we found the save point, so I guess we are done with the stream. Gee, yeah, quick thing. Yeah, so that's Sun and Moon. The story of Black and White is about a prince of a country who thinks that Pokemon are being mistreated and that Pokemon battles are immoral. And so he goes through the effort of trying to find an ancient artifact that will allow him to harness the power of a dragon, which he can use the, like, vast power of this legendary Pokemon to force everyone to release their Pokemon and live separately from Pokemon. And his father is actually plotting to just not do that and just use the power of the dragon to take control of the whole kingdom. Demi-Fiend will instant kill you if you have any resistances. Resistances? damn. But, what Black and White does really well is it helps you, like, you have a silent protagonist in that character, but in that game, like you do in most all Pokemon games. But as you go through it, you encounter and you encounter N, who's like the main antagonist, the prince, and he asks you about your like hopes and dreams. And he asks you, like, these questions, like, do you have any hopes? Do you have any dreams? Do you have any goals? Do you like Pokemon? What do you want to do with your fucking life? Why are you even bothering with this Pokemon League shit, you know? What's up with you? And he, like, through these conversations, you help build your silent protagonist as a character, like, while he talks to you, and it's an interesting relationship dynamic you end up having with him. I don't think the people fucking suck Black and White's dick all day long. I don't think Black and White's story was necessarily anything that great, but the interactions with N were truly wonderful. Like, especially if you play White. If you play White, it's really interesting because one of the legendary dragons represents hope and one of the legendary dragons represents ideals. And if you're playing White, your Pokemon is the truth. Your Pokemon represents ideals and his Pokemon represents truth. And so by him having the representation of truth and you fighting him with your ideals, the game is specifically stating that N is correct. Pokemon are mistreated and enslaved by people, and you're opposing him with this ideals of coexistence, but you're not, like, what you're saying isn't an accurate representation of reality. And I found what was really interesting is that, for whatever reason, when I was answering N's questions, my character ended up turning into, like, an apathetic sociopath. The game doesn't really guide you in that direction, but that was kind of like, that was what my character ended up becoming by the end of it. And in a way, like, N is like a misguided hero of the story. And in Black and White, specifically White, you're the bad guy trying to stop him. And he gets, like, betrayed at the end, and like like Gestus, his dad, is like a blatant supervillain. But specifically, though, up until that point, where I think it shits the bed, where I think Black and White shits the bed is in, like, the last 10 minutes. Or, like, the last hour. When you get to the Pokemon League, that's where the whole fucking game goes downhill. Like, even mechanically, that's where the game goes downhill. But, yeah. Pretty great. But my fucking issue with Black and White is that you get to the fucking Pokemon League and say, if I'm trying to, I don't remember the exact levels, but you get the rough idea. The area, Victory Road leading up to the Pokemon League, all of the Pokemon are level 40. And then you get into the Pokemon League itself, and you fight all the Pokemon there, and all the Pokemon are, like, level fucking 50 that the Elite Four have. And so you have to grind up 10 fucking levels in Victory Road with Pokemon that are giving you shit for experience just so you're strong enough to fight the Elite Four. And then you fucking fight, and then N shows up, and all of N's Pokemon are, like, 10 levels higher than the Elite Four all of a sudden. They're, like, level 60. So then you have to grind, and you don't get a break between them to grind. There's no rest periods between these fucking fights. So you have to, like, go back. You have to reload a pre-Elite Four fight and grind up from levels 40 to 60 so you can beat N at the end of the game. And then, when it's revealed that Gestus shows up, there's still no chance to fucking grind in between these two fights. So you need to fucking and he's 10 levels stronger than fucking N. So he's like level 70. So you have to grind from level, like, you have to grind to level 70 from like level 40, where you would normally be at this point in an area with only level 40 Pokemon with nothing dropping experience. You end up having to spend like 5 to 10 additional hours just grinding just to beat the fucking game. And then at the end, even though you fucking beat the Elite Four, they don't give you the championship, and they expect you to come back, and then all of the Elite Four have level 80 Pokemon, and I just didn't. I didn't even bother. Because grinding on level 40 Pokemon to get to level 80 just sounds terrible. I mean, but here's the problem. There aren't Pokemon available that are 10 or 15 levels higher than you. That's the issue. The issue is you're stuck grinding off of like the level 40 Pokemon to level 80. That's the issue. Level like 100 if you want to play competitive, which fucking thank Christ I've never wanted to do that before, but yeah, it's really the last hour I think Black and White shit the bed. Never made it through Black and White 2. I own it. I'm like a quarter of the way through that game, but I haven't beaten it completely. X and Y's plot is really basic, but I'll be damned if I don't fucking love it. It's a doomsday cult that wants to end the world and just repopulate it. But they're also super into fashion because it's in France. And Sun and Moon's plot is actually like too complicated to explain in like 5 seconds, like I'm doing with the rest of the Pokemon games. But Sword and Shield's plot, I don't know. I'm at like badge 6 or 7, and I'm still like it's like they tried to go back to basics like Pokemon 1. And I almost think that Sword and Shield kind of sucks on purpose, just because Sun and Moon was such a slam dunk that they're like, okay, you gotta temper your expectations. Sun and Moon has Suntan Junpei. Oh, you're talking about How, I think. How wasn't great. But it also has Lily, and Lily was great. But How wasn't great. But How isn't as bad as Sword and Shield's Hop. I fucking hate Hop. Every time Hop shows up, I'm like, fucking go die in a pit, Hop. And then Hop is depressed at one point, and I'm like, oh my god, thank fucking Christ Hop is depressed. But he actually gets more annoying because he challenges you to more Pokemon battles while depressed than happy, but his happiness just pisses me off. I fucking hate Hop. This doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I fucking hate Hop. He is, I think, my least favorite Pokemon character of all time, which is hilarious, because Sun and Moon had, like, my favorite Pokemon character of all time, not including May, with Lucamine, but then we end up with fucking Hop in this game, and I fucking hate him, and he's so goddamn irritating and annoying. He challenges you to a battle like every 6 seconds. I think I've fought Hop in a battle like 7 times now, and I don't know why. So I definitely see, like, if you look at the reviews for Sword and Shield, they're good, but they're bad for a Pokemon game. And that basically sums up my issues with it. Like, it's a good game, but it's not a very good Pokemon game. Anyway, moral of the story, not all Pokemon games are the same. The differences are mostly plot and character-based, and they have similar themes and motifs a lot, but there are a lot of key differences that can really make or break what makes a good or bad Pokemon game. So, version differences, though, are not usually that notable. Sometimes they change key aspects of the story. Like Ruby and Sapphire, the version differences decide whether the enemy's team's plan makes sense or is fucking retarded. But from what I remember, there's almost no difference between Gold and Silver or Red and Blue. I don't know what goes on in Black and White. Not Black and White decides whether you're the good guy or the bad guy, which is really interesting. It also changes the champion that you fight at the end. Diamond and Pearl, I haven't played, so I don't know. Didn't get through Black and White 2. Sun and Moon, as far as I can tell, there's almost no difference between Sun and Moon. It just changes the internal clock of the game. Haven't played Ultra. X and Y, I don't think there's that much of a difference between X and Y. I know in Sword and Shield, though, it changes a bit of the story, and it changes which gym battles you fight. Like, it literally, like, changes characters in the game. So X and Y, and some, like, evolutions are available only to, like, one version or the other. So X and Y is actually the biggest version difference. Not X and Y. Sword and Shield has the biggest version difference in any Pokemon game ever. But anyway, everyone's already left during my Pokemon rant. But look, I gotta talk about Pokemon because I love Pokemon, and I'm gonna be playing Pokemon right the second I end the stream. But anyway, yeah, that was Ultra Despair, girls. We'll probably be back Monday. Hope you all had fun. I did. We're probably going to be pretty close to wrapping up Chapter 4 and then Chapter 5, and then we have to get on to Persona, which is similar to Pokemon. Bit more story-focused, bit less friendship-focused, but not necessarily a bad thing. But anyway, yeah, have a great night, y'all. I've been Sacrabalic, your Envoy of Despair, and I don't know. Whatever. Bye.